and thank you for staying with us. And like I said, we have an amazing guest with us here at the studio. He is no other than Young Ayotamuno. He is the State Director of the National Orientation Agency, Rivers State. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to fulfill my duty.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to allow you to fulfill your duty too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And quickly, ATN actually won the TV station of the state from the Rivers State Media Awards. This is actually an amazing one. After 2 few months of this company, and it's actually a commendable one, that ATN has had a progressive, a progressive one, and to be recognized amongst other TV stations as one of the best in Rivers State. It's a commendable one. And we also want to use this opportunity to thank Mr. Young. He is part of the pioneer that started this company with us. It's a pleasure to actually do that with you, and we thank you always, sir, for giving us the opportunity to share your thoughts with us and giving us the opportunity to spread information to the public and being recognized as one of the TV station of Rivers State. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you. For me, it shows that ATN has come a very long way.
Yes.
And for me, I see it as a reward for industry and a success for entrepreneurship. Looking back now, looking at its progenitor, that is the Wish FM. The Wish FM was actually here before the ATN.
Yes, sir. And
ATN has progressed to the point of winning the television station of the year. And I think it shows that there are many more good things to come.
Yes.
And I also want to commend all staff over the years that has contributed towards the winning of this award.
Yes.
And in fact, the management, management is key.
Yes.
Management receives the hits. Yes, in any organization. Management has to bring in all the variables. Management see it all, the challenges, and I can tell you for free that there's a lot of improvement here, and we wish ATN well. Today it is television in Rivers State, but very soon we'll also see ATN at the national level.
Amen. That would be a really good one. And to think that this award was gotten after a few years and 2 years and few months, it's actually a really, really commendable one for ATN. And we know that, like you said, we will be recognized even all over the world for the best TV of the year. And thank you, viewers, for always being there, being with us, and also supporting us. Even though we don't see you, we know that you are actually part of this organization. We appreciate you so much. Well, moving forward, we have that the Rivers State government says it proposes to spend 10 billion in 2025 to install closed-circuit television, otherwise known as CCTV, or security cameras in strategic locations to enhance security. The government will also spend 5 billion for the procurement of official and security vehicles in 2025, and this will complement the already huge investment in over 100 security vehicles in the state. The State Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Chris Robert Ozungu, stated this in a document he issued on Saturday to reporters in Enugu after a breakdown of the 2025 budget estimates. The News Agency of Nigeria recalls that the government recently presented a budget of 971.08 billion naira, with 837.94 billion naira as capital expenditure and 133.14 billion as recurrent expenditure. Mr. Ozungu explained that the high-tech CCTV security cameras and their searchlights would be placed at bus stops and junctions in highly densely populated areas and major highways in the state. He also stated that the cameras would be linked to a centralized monitoring system to effectively monitor and coordinate the entire security system in the states. This is actually a commendable one from Enugu State government. You know, like they said, it's a means of curbing insecurity in the states. But I don't know, do you think this will actually reduce the case of insecurity? Do you think this is a good step to, we know, yeah, or to actually know CCTV cameras are good ones. We actually know, yes, they want to use it to monitor, like they said, the going in and out of vehicles and all of that. But will this curb insecurity if we really have to look at it from the right sense?
All right. If I think if I get my my memory correct, that's Governor Mba.
Yes, sir.
I think that's Governor Mba, His Excellency Mba.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's, I think he has started well. You know, since he came on board, it's been zero tolerance for anything about insecurity. And I just looked at the budget and I smiled, because when you invest over 800 billion out of 900 billion into capital, it shows that it's actually a development budget trying to put in place the infrastructure that will actually propel that state, you know, to greatness, to development. So for me, it's okay. Now, talking about the issue of CCTV, like the comment had it, is high tech, and that is what we all have been looking forward to. My own take is that, yes, these high tech equipments are important, and the investment is a worthy one, but we also have to look at human capital in terms of, first, making sure that we get the partnership of the people. We get the, partnership of the people.
Okay.
Yes, because first, we have recently seen situations where bandits went as far as, you know, tampering with electrical installations in the bush somewhere in Niger, that has also contributed to some of the issues that we have had with our electricity distribution. So first, you have to partner with the people. The people have to take ownership. The people have to take ownership. That's the people for whom these things are provided.
Okay.
Must take ownership. That is number one. Number two, security of these facilities. And I believe that when you get the people into ownership, when you get them into ownership, into a sense of ownership, they will also help in protecting and securing this equipment. So it's important. And we should also look at the training, the personnel, especially in terms of, you know, we have had a very poor maintenance culture, which we can't run away from. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves the truth. So we must also, as part of the inputs for this kind of contract, we must also train the personnel that will maintain this equipment. So that's, for me, it's that's my take.
Okay, so if I got you wrong, Mr. Young, you said first of the people, it has to be a people-orientated one first, and secondly, the people should be involved in the protection and securing of the properties in order for it to actually give the desired results that the state government want to achieve.
Yes.
But I actually wanted to ask, in as much as, yes, we know that the CCTV cameras will also aid in the issue of security. Is this the right approach for the government? Is it the right approach the government should have taken to sort out the issue of insecurity in the states?
Yeah, I believe that it's a multifaceted approach that is being taken.
Okay.
You know that we have emphasized the kinetic, that is use of arms, you know, against bandits, against criminal elements, against terrorists and whatever that operates within the different geopolitical zones. But the shift now is towards the non-kinetic. Okay. That's towards getting the partnership, towards getting the people to believe that, look, security is everybody's business.
So
in fact, currently, you know, as director of the National Orientation Agency, I know that we are running a security consciousness campaign nationwide.
Okay.
So it's everybody's business. If you close your eyes and think that you are protected, what about your brother? What about your sister? What about, in fact, part of your duty of care should also be that then your next door neighbor is also safe. So I believe that what the steps the government is taking is right. But again, you know, the argument has been that if there are certain conditions that have led to insecurity, issues of poverty, issues of people losing their means of livelihood and so on. So while they are looking at this, that's why when I said that initially, that 800 and something billion towards capital, if you look at it, capital and the recurrent expenditure ratio is very high. So we believe that more investments will be done in the area of agriculture. Agriculture continues to be a major, you know, employer of labor. Agriculture, we are talking about perhaps rural agriculture, in fact peasant farming. Whether I like it or not, much of the food that we eat comes from the rural areas and is produced by the peasants. So what can we do towards making sure that we improve agriculture at the various in the various local governments of Enugu states?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So high tech is part of the non-kinetic, and which we are encouraging, yes, under the national security architecture.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, you talked about partnering with the people, getting the people involved in the provision of this CCTV and the security vehicles that will be provided by the state government. There has been cases where most of the CCTVs and some of this, you talked about maintenance and getting the people involved, because if they are involved, they want to secure it because they see it as their properties. But we have certain minds that do not see it as a progressive aspects of the society. I don't know if that makes sense. They rather destroy than keep it. So how would the government curtail this incident from occurring by allowing this equipment that has been provided to actually make its use and not be destroyed by the people that are supposed to protect it?
Yeah, you know, part of if I got it well, part of the reports is that there's a monitoring content to this CCTV.
Yeah.
That is one.
Okay.
The second one, you will agree with me that most projects that have been established or that have been cited, especially in both urban and rural communities, if you don't get the people, a buy-in of the people, those projects are not protected, because it is still that mentality of we and they. What is our take in this matter? So it's not just the issue of, you know, citing or the issue of putting these things in place, but then you also have to do some major sensitization. You know, have town hall meetings with the people. These facilities are there to protect you.
It's for your own good.
It's for your own good. And once they get that buy-in, and once that buy-in is achieved, you'll see that most of these things will be protected. There's no time that you won't see such aberrations. Let me put it that way. Situations where some people are just as if they are naturally evil, or they are prone to crime. Look at even here in River State, you know, some of the flyovers that we have had. When you look at the wire mesh under them to protect them, scavengers go there and then cut these things. Even as important as the manholes on top of our flyovers, scavengers go there and remove them. So the only thing that one of the major solutions, let me put it that way, is the fact that when you get community buy-in, if the community sees somebody who is trying to remove what is theirs, the likelihood is for them to question, because you are trying to deprive them of something that will secure them, of something that they know at least has come to enhance their security. So you need the community buy-in. Make sure that you get CDCs. In fact, they will even help you. Most communities have vigilantes now. They will even help you, you know, instead of thinking that this thing is another market that government has established for us. Let us go and pull it and sell.
Yeah.
So those are the things.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, on that. Oh, well, moving forward, we have the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, on Sunday said his administration's decision to engage the youth in governance is to enable them to showcase their innate abilities as well as prepare them for leadership positions in the future. Abiodun also disclosed that his administration will provide grants ranging from 500,000 naira to 1 million naira to enable business-oriented youths in the states to fulfill their dreams under its Ogun Yes Empowerment and Entrepreneurial Program. The governor stated this at the first annual Youth Summit and Empowerment Program organized by the Ogun State chapter of the City Boy Movement held at the Cultural Center, Kuto Abeokuta. The governor noted that the strength of any society lies in its youths and maintained that the state government is building a future where the youths are not only participants but innovators and change leaders. The summit, according to the governor, serves as a reminder that hope is not passive but active, adding that hope requires courage to take the first step, challenge the status quo, and believe that they can achieve them. We were just talking about people-oriented decisions, like when the government, it's called democracy for the people.
I smiled when I
saw that.
Yes, when I had the speech made by the governor.
So this situation, we've had cases like this oftentimes. I'm sure we've discussed situations like this from different states governments, you know, coming from the Ogun State government to actually engage youth. First off, the government wants to engage youth in governance, and secondly, also distributes 500 to 1 million naira grants for the ones that are business oriented. Do you think this is also the people's oriented step?
Well, let's first believe that because it appears it's the platform is one organized by an NGO, City Boys. I think I saw City Boys as the organizers and at the background. Let's believe that it cuts across all parties. Okay. All parties. I'm saying this clearly with insights as to the fact that the federal government has established the 747. I don't know whether you're aware of it, the National Values Charter.
Okay.
And part of the National Values Charter, the federal government actually made its own commitments. One of the commitments that federal governments, in addition to providing the enabling environment, that is security. Federal government also actually mentioned that entrepreneurship and employment are key areas, key commitments that they should be held accountable.
Okay.
And then on the other side, that is citizens' responsibility, the other 7, one thing that came out very clearly, that's under the Citizens Code, is the fact that leadership, and you found out that here, he made reference to the fact that leadership is key. Leadership is key. So that was why I smiled when I saw it. So I believe a step in the right direction, but let it be as inclusive as possible. And you know that the present government is also committed towards building tech, you know, tech for young people. Yes, tech for young people. And in addition, we also have a Ministry of Innovation. and creativity at the federal level. And most of the states are also buying into some of these innovations that have come up. So let's believe that they not just giving them 500,000 to 1 million. If you look at the exchange rate now, and if you look at the inflation, ordinarily, if you are not careful, you might think that what will that do?
I was waiting for you to say that.
But again,
I was waiting for you to make that statement.
But again, you know, we are in the same country, but operating at from different regions.
Okay.
1 million may not be much here, but it's also big.
But the question is, what business idea can someone actually invest 500,000 to 1 million in to really achieve it?
Yes, there are. I talked about the tech industry.
Okay.
Most of these young people, in fact, first you train, and after training, a little starter pack for them can actually set them going in business, and then they begin to build from there. You mustn't have all you need and high capital before you start a business. In fact, if you start from a very high level, when there's capital, when there's so much capital at your disposal, if there's any challenge and if there's any hitch or glitch, let me use a Nigerian language now, glitch, you find out that by the time you crash, you may not have acquired those values, those virtues that will take you up. You know, a businessman that started from the scratch, even if along the line he has a challenge, he knows where to source his solution, and you see him over time, he's standing again. But if they give you all the money and you don't have the skill to manage, of course, entrepreneurship is there. Entrepreneurial skills are very, very fundamental for building up such industries.
Okay.
If you have all the money and you have a problem, then you might not be able to, you might not be as resilient as, in fact, that also reminds me, resilience is also part of what the Nigerian youth is also known. In fact, the Nigerian, in that citizens code, resilience is also part of what the Nigerian is known for. So I think the governor has started well, and we believe that while he's still there, that there will be monitoring and evaluation, and we will see. It's not just giving money, but you have to also monitor
it and make sure that they are actually distributed.
Yes, that they're actually distributed and that they are applying these monies to what they are supposed to achieve.
We're talking about application of these funds. We get to a point. There have been certain instances. I've had a discussion with a guest, and he said that he was at a particular location where an NGO or a federal government, if I'm not mistaken, distributed items like things to enhance the youth. To empower
Let me help you now. Hairdressers, generators.
Yes. So most of them at that point started selling them.
Sold them, yes. So
just to keep the money. So what is the guarantee that after they distribute those funds to those youths, they will make rightful use of it? Yes, oftentimes we say the government is at fault in certain things, but as individuals, if you really want to help yourself, you should come in terms with self-discipline. Yes, because free money, there's that thing with free money, money that wasn't really worked for. Some of them will not really make right use of it. Do you think that the government should also bring in probably a program where they make sure that these funds are used rightly and not spent from the youths?
Yes, the implementation matters. Let me give you an example. Most of the furniture that were being used, up till the 80s, the furniture that was being used in Port Harcourt here, much of it was sourced from outside. People go to Aba to source, and then it took one of the governments, to start building capacity here. It took one of the governments, military governments, to start building capacity here. And the product of it is what you are seeing. If you look at the furniture, let me say the furniture hub of Port Harcourt, take from mile 3, mile 4, through mile 4. In fact, that's from mile 3, that's the UST junction, the River State University junction, down to Wimpy, and even beyond Wimpy. That is the product of when government partners with the people, when government actually does a need assessment before embarking on a project. So I agree with you completely that you need to build the skills of these people. In fact, history has it that many of the original construction firms that we had here, that the people who were involved in those construction firms, that is before the creation of River State, they hadn't any idea about construction. But it took the government, the visionary government, starting from the scratch, that's the Smith government, to actually train some of these people. In Port Harcourt State local government, they had a crash training. And after that, government supported them to start establishing these construction firms. And that was how we came to have some of these indigenous construction firms that we had in River State. John Wright, an Irishman, was here, you know, having worked, in fact, having been a teacher to Spiff when Spiff was in Manowar in Cameroon. When Spiff became governor, Spiff thought that it was proper to bring John Wright here, to bring him. And he pleaded with him. John Wright came here. And John Wright started training. In fact, he was a multi-skilled, multi-talented person. And he started training people, even on business. And that's how we got some of the indigenous construction firms that we have in Rivers today. Yes. So training, we can't run away from training. You must have to train people so that people, you know, can, the right values, the right mechanics on how to do some of these things, they will really imbibe them, and it will be part of them. Yes.
Thank you so much in that analysis there. That was
but
an
like you mentioned,
one.
Discipline is very important.
Discipline, yes. Discipline. It's actually a key
and that is the number one. That is the number one national value.
Yes.
Under the Citizens Code. Discipline is number one.
Yes.
If you check it, you'll see it there.
It is.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much in that. Moving forward, we have that the federal government has suspended the ban on mining activities in Zamfara State 5 years after the sanction was imposed. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, made this known in a statement on Sunday in Abuja. The federal government has lifted the ban on mining exploration activities in Zamfara State, citing significant improvements in the security situation across the state. Nigeria has a lot to gain from reawakened economic activities in a highly mineralized state like Zamfara that is imbued with vast gold, lithium, and copper belts. The statement reads, according to the minister, the previous ban, which was well-intentioned, inadvertently created a vacuum exploited by illegal miners to fletch the nation of its resources. Alake also emphasized that the state's potential for contributing to national revenue is enormous. The existential threats to lives and properties that led to the 2019 ban has abated. The security operatives' giant strides have led to a notable reduction in the level of insecurity, and with the ban on exploration lifted, Zamfara mining sector can gradually begin contributing to the nation's revenue pool. Since the beginning of the Tinubu administration, however, intelligence-driven coordinated security operations have resulted in the neutralization of key bandits commanders, significantly reducing incidents of insecurity. A recent success was the capture of one of the most wanted bandit commanders, Halilu Sabubu, in a covert operation in Zamfara, he added. Do you think this ban that has been lifted is actually the right one right now from the federal government? Because there's still been the case of insecurity in the states, and one of the reasons why there was a ban on the mining sector in Zamfara state is the case of insecurity, and now after 5 years we're seeing that it's been lifted. Well, I don't know if I can say that it's actually not at the right time, because probably security should have been sorted out. Insecurity should have been sorted out first before this ban gets lifted. But I would still love to get your thoughts on this. What do you have to say about this?
Well, in any case, let me say that we may not get the total picture. You know, security is a specialized area, and security, government has all the, in fact, we give it to government that information at their disposal is far more than what is at the disposal of any particular individual.
Okay.
And, you know, by our laws, things like mining, you know, are in the exclusive legislative list.
Okay.
And that was government of the federal government, not the government of the federation. The federal government
yes,
had to quickly intervene when it was so bad in terms of security. That is one. Also in terms of the environmental damage that was being done. Yes. And also in terms of the fact that it made our borders a bit loose, because looking at the Zamfara case, we were also tuned to the fact that a lot of foreign nationals, especially, let me not call any particular country, but from the Asian side of it, that they were also involved, you know, in cahoot with the locals, okay, exploring the Zamfara mineral resources. So that itself is clear. Now, they have mentioned the fact that Sabubu is caught. It's not. It's a great step that has been achieved, but also one of his major. In fact, we are told that he is actually the godfather, or he actually trained the main person. You know, Touch is the main person. Touch is the main person. And past administrations have also been found to have been complicit. One of the administrations, we saw Toji being turbaned in a public function, and Toji does not even hide it. And Toji tells them that they have to bring what is his own, and if you don't give him, you can't even. In fact, at some point, he was even boasting that you can't even do elections if you have gone to collect what is his own as a government official and does not bring to him. So this is the situation on ground, but we must the credit. He has tried so much. You know, when he came into initially, when the administration started, people were thinking that they will send him to one of the information organs, but they sent him to Solid Mineral, and that also shows the level of confidence that the governor had in him. You know, until about 2015, we hadn't, until about 2015, 2016, we had no mineral law that we can, even mineral policies, that policies to regulate our mineral sector, solid mineral sector, was lacking. But since he came, he has been able to actually improve on this, and I think we have legislations now that are actually guiding that sector, and the enforcement is on. That is why I'm sure they are saying that from their own knowledge, from information that is available to them, that security has improved. But it is not yet Uhuru. We can't say that we have gotten there, but something has to be done, because we need revenue, and we need to get revenue from all the sources. You know that this same Zamfara was contributed about 5 from their own exploration. Yes, I think government was also involved, the state government, and then they sold about a gold bar worth about $5 million to CBN then, to CBN, and that was the first, and they were hailed actually that at least now we can actually equate what is going into the national treasury from them. So it should actually be expanded beyond Zamfara.
Okay.
But like you mentioned, security of lives and property is the first.
Okay.
And if there is an enabling environment, I'm sure that whatever we'll get from Zamfara, we can also expand it to other states.
Okay,
we have a very rich, solid mineral sector.
Zamfara is known for the mining states in the country. And talking about internal revenue, do you think this is actually going to increase the economic value, considering the fact that Zamfara is yet to pay the minimum wage of 70,000 naira, even when it was at 30,000 naira? No, like I said, Zamfara is the mining state of the country. Do you think this ban that has been lifted will actually increase the revenue of the state?
Yeah, sure, it will. You know, that is the whole discussion around the tax reform bill.
Okay.
The tax reform bill, the area that has to do with VATs, the area that has to do with VATs. They say 2020, okay, 20 for population now, 20 for even development, and then 60 should go to derivation. And the derivation is now tied to location. That's the point of consumption. Instead of the headquarter of the company,
okay,
you know, giving information and giving the statistics as to how much should be shared to them.
Okay.
So definitely it will improve the internal revenue base. You know that in this country, we used to have what we call the Igbetimabo, the Igbetimabo formula, where Igbetimabo under Bola Ige, then as governor of Oyo State, and the Igbetimabo, like we used to have it, when the marble is explored,
okay,
the community has a share, the local government has a share, the state government has a share, and the federal government. And that has come under serious scrutiny.
Okay, thank you,
We
sir.
can't have different laws operating in the same country.
Thank you on that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. Do stay with us. Right, if you're just joining us, ATN actually won the TV Station of the Year from the River State Media Awards. This is actually a commendable one for ATN because of its short period of time, and ATN has actually been on for 2 years and few months, and being recognized as the best TV station of the year is really a commendable one. So we actually wanted to also appreciate one of the pioneers of this station. He is actually a guest here with us, Mr. Young, and we want to thank you for being part of this progress and achievements. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, I wouldn't say maybe pioneer discussants. Well, like I mentioned earlier, I said it's a credit industry.
Okay.
You know, and as I look at the plaque, so many things come into my mind. We are under the 747 National Values Charter. We just mentioned entrepreneurship and employment, and all these are enveloped in this station. Entrepreneurship, but this time around, not by governments, but by the private, not by government, but by the private sector.
Okay.
But by the private sector. So it's private sector driven.
Okay.
And so for me, it shows the courage of conviction.
Okay.
That is one. It shows resilience. Like I mentioned, it's not easy to start a private enterprise.
Yes.
Without government support.
Yes.
Without government support. So the station has done well. And if there's anything that government is doing for private individuals, I also believe that it should be extended to the station. It's one of the indigenous, not just River State, but pioneering indigenous television, you know, in the states.
Okay.
And I think they should be very strongly supported, not by the federal government alone, but also by the state governments.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it is also disseminating information, vital information,
yes,
responsible information, lawful information for the states, for the benefit of the state and its citizens.
Yes.
And I believe that it should be supported.
Yes.
Let me leave it there.
It should be supported and always recognized.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. And we would have actually got in here without all of you for your support and your constant patronage. We really appreciate all of you for this privilege to always serve you, and we will always keep serving you and giving you the best out of this amiable and commendable company. And moving forward, we have that the House of Representatives has called for increased safety measures in public places to avoid stampede leading to the loss of lives. The spokesman of the House, Akintunde Rotimi, said in a statement that the House deeply mourns the tragic loss of lives, including children, and 3 unfortunate stampedes that occurred in Ibadan, Okija, and Abuja during a fun fair and 2 charity events. These heartbreaking incidents, which occurred on Wednesday, December 18, 2025, and Saturday, December 21, 2024, and 2024, I'm sorry, led to the deaths of innocent citizens, including children, with many others sustaining varying degrees of injury at the Islamic High School, Basarun, Ibadan, Oyo State, the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Mayatama, Abuja, and Okija, Ihiala local government area in Anambra State. These strategies were reportedly caused by severe overcrowding at the events, leaving the nation in mourning. The House is deeply concerned about the increasing frequency of such incidents and the devastating impacts they have on families and communities. These incidents serve as a painful reminder of the urgent need for stronger safety measures at public gatherings and events. Rotimi said Speaker Abbas Tajuddin described the incident as unfortunate and called for a thorough investigation to prevent a reoccurrence. Well, I'm aware you're I'm sure you're aware, let me not say it like that, about the situation of the stampede that actually claimed lives of so many, you know, in Abuja, or Ibadan, Anambra states. It is actually a devastating situation. But do you think safety measure is one of the reason why this stampede, the reason why they did not observe safety measures? Because there were lots of crowds. There were lots of people that came. There was a point where there was no entrance. You know, there were lots of crowds, and it caused the issue of the stampede and then claimed lots of lives. But safety measures, is that supposed to be a concern of this issue, or we should just go to the root cause of what happened, which is hardship?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to. I was waiting for you to anchor. And we must be frank about some of the discussions and narratives. Yes, we have seen an increasing trend. In fact, since the COVID-19, an increasing trend of, you know, palliative becoming part of our narrative as a country. In as much as we support the duty of care, which is also part of the values, Citizens Code, under the 747, that's the National Values Charter. Duty of care for ourselves, our citizens, you know, concern for one another is critical. But again, this trend, I think we need to discourage it. The trend of palliative as a way out. You know, we have to start thinking of how to, in fact, the economy, how to make the economy more inclusive, how to make the economy more participative, such that, you know, instead of people looking up to some individuals or some institutions, you know, as places from where they can get handouts, that people can actually have their own resources, have their own, they are in employment, they are in employment, and they have, in fact, they have something to do. Not just employment, but self-reliance development. So that is where the issue of hardship is coming in.
Okay.
When you look at the number of persons that are involved, definitely this narrative of hardship has also been responsible. You know, takes on a life of its own. Yes, becomes a reality. But again, we have also seen in this country, you know, we have our tendencies, even as citizens. Sometimes you see people, you have gotten, it also happened in Port Harcourt during the COVID.
Yes.
You know, at the polo field here.
Yes.
When a particular organization came to give palliative, yes, and then there was a stampede. The tendency is, once there's any such such distribution to be made, an entire family, okay, including, if you remember the narrative here, even parents took their children to the field and just kept them. So some of them, when the stampede came, they were matched, and then in the process they were stampeded on, and they died. So crowd control is important.
How do you think this crowd control can be done? Is it that every, like, let's say the state government want to distribute palliatives, or an NGO want to distribute, like the issue of the former wife of Oni of Ife, yes, that happened in Ibadan. Is it? Do you think that they have to, you know, present this to a particular body to know that we are organizing this particular event that we want to distribute to the public, in case, so that probably that body will come and monitor and make sure that the process of the actually conducted right? Do you think they have to get to be they have to get the notice of a particular body. I don't know how that works. For the part of the monetary aspects that you mentioned.
Yeah, first, for us to have such a large crowd, you know, it also has its own security issues associated with it.
Okay.
Now, so in that case, you need to involve the security organizations who are also experts, let us put it that way,
okay,
in terms of managing such crowd.
Okay.
You know, security organizations have been very good in managing large crowds. You remember when we were having political party rallies and so on.
Okay.
Yes, we don't have such situations except where it becomes loose at the point of exit. I remember one that happened at Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt here during a political 2015. We had a situation like so. First, you involve them. Secondly, you can also involve quite a number of volunteers. You can also involve quite a number of volunteers in doing. I believe that certainly you have to involve security organizations. Also involve and then anticipate the number. There's hunger. We can't run away from it.
Anticipate what?
You also have anticipate that if you are doing 200 before,
you might
that
get
because
1,
of the hardship in the land now, that you can even get 2,000. You can even get 2,000.
Okay.
And also discipline. This is where discipline comes on the part of citizens. We have
Dangote refineries fuel ex-depot price and uniform arrangements, which would enable marketers to sell at 935 naira in all outlets nationwide. Alhaji Ma Gandhi Garima, Ipman National President, who made this known on Sunday in an interview with the news agency, said in Abuja, lauded the Dangote refinery for the developments. Dangote refinery recently announced a significant reduction in fuel price by 7.27% from 970 per litre to 899.50 per litre as its loading at its loading gantry, and provided generous credit terms to marketers. In a bid to ensure that the price reduction gets to the end consumers, it signed a partnership with MRS to sell petrol from its retail outlets nationwide at 935 naira. The price reduction, which is designed by Dangote Refinery to alleviate transport costs during the festive period and beyond, has already commenced in Lagos and will be offered nationwide from Monday, which is today. Sir, did you drive yourself to this place?
Yes, we are very eager to benefit from. In fact,
did you buy petrol on your way?
On my way, I didn't buy petrol, but I saw a crowd.
Okay.
Another crowd. Maybe we need to this crowd control needs to be extended.
Really?
At a filling station nearby, I saw so many vehicles, and they were waiting to buy fuel. So I was beginning to. I started wondering if it is part of this price reduction. Because I saw so many vehicles.
There's this thing about this festive period. There's always that issue of fuel scarcity, about setting filling stations not releasing fuel. Do you think that there's actually an issue with that, while they always have this fuel problem during festive periods?
No, we don't have. I think we got a point under the Goodluck administration, President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. We got to a point where on festive periods, we didn't see the kind of queues that we were seeing. And that trend had continued until perhaps 2022, with the cash crunch that was attendant towards December and then January towards the elections. Otherwise, we have done well. We have done well as a country, especially during festive periods. Prior to this time, we all know, like you mentioned, that we always have these issues of long queues and before years.
And some filling stations not selling.
So I think it is a good thing. Let's hope. They said from Monday that all other parts of the country, will begin to experience this reduction. But again, that is why the clamor has been on to allow more players, into the industry. The more we have, this is just Dangote now, even with some of the backroom politics of the NNPCL, which is also almost operating like a public-private concern now. With all that, with all those influences, Dangote is also able to, because it's business, it's a businessman. But I think part of what, apart from the cost at the depot, here we are not talking about so much of landing cost again. The fact that now it is a swap of crude for Naira. Crude for Naira. So Dangote cannot be talking about sourcing for foreign exchange before he gets crude. So we even expect that there should be some more cuts and more reduction so that Nigerians can be part of it. But before it is concluded, I also want to ask you: is it a matter of reduction? Okay, is the economy that is working here? Because the economy of demand and supply, is there really demand? Is there an effective demand for petroleum like we used to have? Is there an effective demand? Is there money? Is there even money for people to buy?
At the 935?
Yes, because currently, if you, at the household level, microeconomic level, go and find out, because of the cost of fuel, most people who operate generators, most of them, I can tell you that 50%
or
more. In fact, they have not even put on their generator in the last 4 months or 5 months because of the cost of fuel. So we have to look at it before we start thinking that we're already there.
Okay.
But let's allow more people into the petroleum and gas sector.
Okay.
And with the CNG, that's the compressed natural gas policy of the federal government, I'm sure that we'll get to places.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Young. Your terminal, thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts with us. And thank you for being part of this ATN award once more.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. And we are open for adverts placements. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials on Facebook and YouTube, on Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, on Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, on Atlantic TV Net, which is live on our website at www.atlantic.net.work.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Chidima Wadike. Open conversation comes up shortly. Do not go away. Merry Christmas to you from ATN. Do have an amazing day.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.